Usually I don't really do book hauls because I don't buy a lot of books at a time. I buy like one or two here and there, and then my library just gradually grows like that. But I discovered a website called Bookoutlet.com from watching everyone's hauls. Bookoutlet sells books for really cheap. Really, really cheap. And how do they do that? It's because they buy returns and excess inventory books from publishers, and these books are marked with like a dot or a dash on the edge of their pages. And because of that, Bookoutlet sells these books for 50 to 90% off. Crazy. I will admit though that Bookoutlet does have pretty pricey shipping, and the shipping is like not that great for the price, especially it's not like 3 to 5 shipping like Amazon. I ordered these books on January 2nd and I got them January 15th, so yeah. But let's get to the book haul. The first book I bought is Flipped by Wendelin Van Dranen. You guys know how bad I am with names. Cute story about this book. My 6th grade teacher recommended it to me. In 6th grade we had a project where we had to write a novel, and she read mine and she said, "You know what your novel reminds me of? Flipped. Have you read it?" And I said, "No." And she said, "You should read it. I think you'd like it." And I loved it. It was so cute. I reread it last year and I still love it. It's still amazing. It's so adorable. Next I have Epic Fail by Claire Lazebnik. I don't know much about this book except that it's a contemporary, it's very cute, and it's a modern retelling of Pride and Prejudice. And I read Pride and Prejudice last year and I loved it, so I'm sure I'll like this one too. I'm not too crazy about the title, but you know, it still sounds good. Next, I bought Gone by Michael Grant. I tried reading this book in the 6th grade and I couldn't get into it, but I've heard amazing things about this series, so I decided to buy it and give it another chance. Am I supposed to be telling you guys what these books are about? I feel like that's what people do in book hauls. Oh snap, okay. So Gone is about like a normal world from what I remember, until one day everyone above a certain age just disappears. I don't know what that age is. I think it's like around 14. Don't quote me on that. And I think later in the story these kids start developing powers, maybe? I don't know, it sounds pretty cool. Next I have What Happens Next by Colleen Clayton, and this is another contemporary. I really like contemporaries if you didn't know. But this is about a girl who goes on a ski trip and she meets this boy. This boy invites her to a party, and then something happens and she doesn't remember any of it. Pretty sure something really, really bad happened to her, and then after that her life goes into a downward spiral and she starts spending time with this stoner kid named Corey, and they seem to get along pretty well, so I don't know. I'm really looking forward to this book. I've heard a lot of great things about it. The next book I got was Please Ignore Vera Dietz by A.S. King, and I'm going to admit that I don't know much about this book except for the fact that it's written by A.S. King and it's a Prince Honor book. The sticker's right here. I'm dumb. Next I have Over You by, wow, I forgot. Emma McLaughlin and Nicola. Wow, can I even read? Kraus? Okay. I heard of this book when they started distributing ARCs and I thought it sounded really good. And it's basically about a girl who gets heartbroken because her boyfriend breaks up with her, I think, and instead of moping around, she's like, you know what, I'm gonna start a company, like a program to help other broken-hearted girls so that no one has to feel this way. But then her ex steps back into the picture and then her feelings are all jumbled up and it sounds pretty good. And then I checked the ratings on Goodreads and it's like really unimpressive and I'm kind of scared now. Next I have Incarnate by Jodi Meadows, and this was so hyped up when it came out. This and Everneath, they came out around the same time and everyone was dying for these ARCs. And I think this is about incarnation, I'm guessing from the title. And it's about like a girl who gets put into a body. She's like a new soul. Wow, shows how much I know because I really don't know. But it looks good, and I'm not just talking about the cover. Or am I? It's beautiful. Next I have a book that I've already read, and it's The Rules by Stacy Cade. It's the first book in the Project Paper Doll series. And I really enjoyed this book. It's like a mixture of sci-fi and contemporary, and you're like, how does that even make sense? It's about a girl who's a genetic experiment. She has like alien DNA, I think. Yeah, okay. But she breaks out of that scientist lab, and now she's living life as a high schooler. At least she's trying to, but then there's a boy who's just a bit too observant, and it leads to trouble. I'd really recommend this book. I really loved it. I recently got accepted on NetGalley to read the sequel, which is called The Hunt, so I'm excited about that. And finally, I have Unravel Me by Tahara Mafi, and this is the sequel to Shatter Me. I read Shatter Me when it first came out. I had pre-ordered it, and I liked it. It wasn't my favorite book. I thought Juliet was really annoying and Adam was really not charming and Warner was like the best part of the book for me. But I'm really excited to get into this one. I heard it's like a billion times better than the first. And I keep hearing this special something about a so-called Chapter 62, I think. I have a good guess that it's about Warner and Juliet, but maybe I'm totally off and people who have read this book are like, yeah, you should stop guessing at things because you suck at it. This series underwent a very conspicuous cover change, as you can see. First book, second book. At first I wasn't too crazy about this cover change, not that I like the original cover because let's face it, this sucks. But I wasn't really that fond of the eye either. However, it looks a lot better in person. So yeah, that's all for this book haul. Wow, that's a lot of books for me. It's like 9 books. Let me show them to you. Oh god, okay. Ta-da! Wow, I think Catty-tastic deserves a lot more credit than she usually gets because books are heavy, man. Look how beautiful all the books look stacked up against each other. It's gorgeous, I know. So yeah, thanks so much for watching this book haul. I hope you enjoyed it. Tell me if you've read any of these beauties. Tell me if you liked them. Again, thanks so much for watching. I hope you're having a fantastic day and happy reading. Goodbye! And I was like, baby, 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 shh, you're beautiful. You're beautiful. I don't know, man, I just really like books.